Now, one last thing, and then I'm going to get to what I believe the solutions are, and I think you can anticipate that. Sales tax exemptions. It's stunning. It is absolutely stunning in Pennsylvania. Our sales tax, we collect $8.6 billion in sales tax. Tax loopholes or tax exemptions on non-essential items, and by essential items, I mean food, clothing, and across-the-counter pharmaceuticals. Those are essential. Leave those exemptions in place. If you got rid of every other exemption, we would gain $4.3 billion in revenue. Remember I said the PIT would be worth 1.8 at full impact? 4.3 billion, not counting food, clothing, and pharmaceuticals. 4.3 billion. If you got rid of all the exemptions, you could cut the rate by a point and a half, and still produce a couple of $1 billion. Still produce a couple of $1 billion. All right, but leave that. Because I want to show you, and the list is too numerous to go over, but I want to just go over some of these sales tax exemptions, because they make no sense. And this is actually funny. Or at least I think it's funny. Oh, by the way, this year, facing a $3.2 billion budget gap, we added a sales tax exemption. Last year, we did gold bullion. We exempted the sales tax on gold bullion. Now, who buys gold bullion? People who have a higher net worth than all of us in this room put together buy gold bullion. They can afford to pay the sales tax. Now, you say, Governor, why did you sign it? Why didn't you veto it? Because it gets put in a tax code bill. It's one of 27 things. I can't line item veto a tax code bill. I'd have to veto the whole bill. And that would set, we'd have been there for 160 days. But this year, we added a sales tax on the sale of helicopters. 2 companies in Pennsylvania make helicopters. Now, think for a moment, who's the biggest buyer of helicopters? The U.S. government. U.S. government is exempt from sales tax all over the country. So how is reducing the sales tax on helicopters helping them get business? Well, we looked into this and found that one of the companies wanted to sell to the UAE, United Arab Emirates. There can probably be no richer entity on this earth than the United Arab Emirates. Sales tax is 6%. In the county where this company is located. I think the UAE could afford it. But we added a sales tax exemption, taking off revenue in a year that we were $3.2 billion in the hole. But consider the following that we don't, that are exempt from the sales tax. Dental floss. The sale of horses, if they are sold in-state, are taxable, but they're exempt if the sale from the sales tax if the horse is purchased out of state. Suntan lotion is taxable. Sunburn lotion is exempt. If we tax fish food for a consumer who buys it at a store, but not for a fish nursery that sells fish. We tax the purchase of salmon, but we exempt the purchase of trout. We're among 42 states that tax non-prescription drugs. We are not among the 42 states that tax non-prescription drugs or the 36 states that tax basic telephone service. Interestingly, when you get your bill for this, look, and there's a sales tax. When you get your bill for your landline, there's no sales tax. Most landlines now are held by businesses. Again, makes no sense. We're not among the 33 states that tax caskets. Caskets are exempt from the sales tax, or burial vaults, or the 32 states that tax magazines. It is absolutely stunning. We don't tax legal services. We don't tax administrative services. We don't tax computer services. We don't tax dry cleaning and laundry. It is unbelievable. We don't tax candy and gum because we consider them food. If we applied the sales tax to candy and gum, $100 million. Now, just another hypothetical. Anybody have any idea why we don't tax candy and gum? Well, what's one of the biggest companies in Pennsylvania? Hershey's. It was we threw Hershey's a bone. Well, I don't mind throwing Hershey's a bone when it employed 4,000 or 5,000 Pennsylvanians. But where are most of Hershey's workforce right now? Well, you have to habla español to communicate with the Hershey workforce right now. What are we doing?